everyone. When visiting Sabi Sands and Kruger National Park on a safari, travelers have the chance to encounter various animals up close, including lions, who evoke unique reactions in everyone. If you've had the fortune of seeing a male lion, or even one of the male lion coalitions in this area, you'll never forget their immense size, grace, and beauty, coupled with the supreme confidence and aura of dominance they exude. Lions are the majestic animals, the kings of the jungle. In today's video, we are going to discuss 7 of the most powerful and famous lion coalition, which fascinated the world with their sheer power and dominance. Little is known about the origin of the Birmingham male lions. There were 6 of them in the beginning, and they came from a property known as Birmingham in the Timbavati, a conglomerate of privately owned concessions bordering the Kruger National Park's western boundary. By the time they were first seen in the northeastern corner of the Sabi Sand Reserve, they were down to 5. Apparently, one had been killed in a dispute with older, more experienced lions, and they were on the run. When this coalition of 5 young males first entered northern Sabi Sands in 2014, people soon developed high expectations for the Birmingham males to rise into the next all-dominating force for the upcoming years. Following into the footsteps of the great Mapogo and Majingilane coalition, who had affected and actively formed the lion dynamics in the Sabi Sands Game Reserve like no other resident group of male lions before. And they would live up to it in the beginning. A constant tug-of-war with the 2 dominant Matimba males as they pushed deeper and deeper into Matimba territory, a buffalo killing spree as a sign that they meant business. The northern sector sank into chaos, and dead cubs, subadults and adult lionesses within the Styx Pride and Kuhuma Pride were the sad result of the Birmingham males establishing themselves as the new dominant males. Times were good for the 5 brothers. With no serious competitor who could compete with their numbers, they conquered pride after pride, up to a total of 5: Styx, Kuhuma, Torchwood, Mhanjani, and Sevu. In April 2016, bad luck started to settle in with the death of Scrapper, who died at the young age of 5 years from internal injuries sustained during a buffalo hunt. And by the time they moved south to eventually take over the Sevu and Mhanjani Pride in early or mid-2018, leaving the north for good, bad luck struck again with the disappearance of the second male, Mfumo, only aged 7. It was again only 1 year later, approximately around March 2019, that the third male, Nsuku, received a bad leg injury, most likely caused by a buffalo. Not being able to recover from it, his ordeal lasted for around 7 months till he passed away in October 2019. From once 5 males, the coalition was now reduced to only 2, losing all 3 members to unfortunate events. It's up to everybody's imagination if they would have ventured even further south or east, possibly out of the Sabi Sands Game Reserve in quest of more prides to take over. A lot would have been possible. But even with that being said, it remains a truth that they successfully spread their genes nevertheless. For lionesses within the Kuhuma Pride, only 3 of them seen lately, at least 3 within the Torchwood Pride. Case is not entirely clear as for now. 2 within the Styx Pride and 1 within the Mhanjani Pride can be considered a proper success. And additional to the Kuhuma male, the Torchwood male and the Styx male, they currently have 11 subadults and 4 cubs within the Sevu Pride. Their survival mainly depended on the ability of the last 2 remaining males, Nhenya and Tinyo, to maintain their status as dominant males. It had been 4 months since Nhenya, the last remaining male, was seen and was presumed dead. With the demise of the last Birmingham male, the Kuhuma Pride is now the new king of Birmingham's. The Matimba lion coalition of 6 males that are from the Kruger National Park and have always been seen bordering on the territories of the Majingalanes and the Mapogos. They had not made any moves to secure these territories before the Majingalanes had gone. Lions are known to hunt at night and rest during the heat of the day as a way of conserving their energy. In 2017, the 2 huge Matimba male lions packed up and left, making way for the Birmingham males who were making their presence known. But now it seems, history has repeated itself, and the Matimba males have once again moved into a territory recently vacated by the Majingilane, the western Sabi Sands. The Matimba males need to sire cubs in the western sector in order to secure the future of their bloodline. All that we know is that these coalitions have given us amazing viewing and some phenomenal insights into lion behavior. With the global populations of lions dropping to only 20,000, interactions like these might not be witnessed by our children and grandchildren. It is so important to understand these interactions and to visit these reserves, which keeps their populations safe and stable. Cecil was a male lion that lived in Wang National Park in Zimbabwe and was the leader of a pride of lions known as the Cecil Pride. The pride consisted of several females and their cubs, and they were known for their success in hunting elephants, which is a challenging and dangerous prey for lions. In 2015, Cecil gained international attention when he was illegally killed by a trophy hunter. The incident sparked widespread outrage and brought attention to the issue of trophy hunting in Africa. The hunting of Cecil was especially controversial as he was a beloved and well-known lion in the Wang National Park and had been the subject of many wildlife documentaries. Despite the loss of their leader, the Cecil Pride continued to thrive in the Wang National Park. The females worked together to raise their cubs and hunt for food, and the pride remained an important part of the ecosystem. Efforts have been made to protect lions and other wildlife in the Wang National Park from illegal hunting and other threats, and the Cecil Pride serves as a reminder of the importance of conservation efforts. The Southern Pride males, or the Selati males, they are widely known for ending the Mapogo reign from western Sabi Sand. The Selatis were a group of male lions who ended the reign of the Mapogo Lion Coalition in the Sabi Sands Game Reserve. The Selatis were known for their tactics of stopping, moving away, waiting, and then re-attacking. The Selati males are a coalition of 4 lions born into the Southern Pride in 2007 and 2008, sired by the golf course males. When they first left their maternal pride, there were 5 males, but their wanderings brought them into the territory of the Majingilane males, where a fight between the 2 coalitions resulted in one of the younger Selati males being fatally wounded. And later he succumbed to his injuries. The 4 males needed to find a place to grow and avoid contact with the Majingilanes, and that saw them pushing towards the western section of the reserve, a place that they had been previously as youngsters when the pride was spending time trailing the buffalo herd. It was a slow approach. The young males were accomplished buffalo hunters, and following the big herd and building themselves up was the primary goal at the time. The 4 Selati conquered the Mapogo territory, and they never beat the Majingilane in a fight. Of course, the Majingilanes had little interest in attacking them because they already had an immense territory, as now they are down to 3. So the Majingilane took their chance. Now the remaining 3 Selati, it made them an easier target, and one day in early 2014, the Majingilanes came into the west and caught one of the Selati alone and mauled him, which he would die later from his injuries. The remaining 2 Selati were chased out of their territory by the Majingilanes and had to find new territory. The remaining 2 would find success elsewhere with the Talamati Pride in 2015 further north, where they fathered cubs. One of the brothers lost condition in 2016 and died in early 2017. The remaining Selati remained dominate until later in the year, until he was also seen in bad condition and was never seen again. They have 2 sons, the Talamati males, who are nomads and are seen around the S1 time to time. This great coalition shows you the struggles had even by big coalitions and the difficulty to succeed in the wild. The African safari has a wild heart that's hard to resist. It's a world where only the powerful survive. The Majingilane Lion Coalition ruled this world, standing out as the kings of the Sabi Sands. They represented the free and untouchable spirit of African wildlife. In the Manulethi Game Reserve, a strong friendship was formed. This bond would change the way we see lion groups. The Majingilane group made their way south to Sabi Sands in 2009, becoming a legend. Their story is captivating, bringing to light the raw power struggles in the wild. The Majingilane Coalition was known for their careful rule. They didn't just rely on their strength, but picked their fights smartly. This tactic helped them stay in power longer and become a key part of the safari's history. Their territory was wide and hard to see. Yet, the Majingilane Lion Coalition's impact was lasting. The Sabi Sands area echoes with their history. We are drawn into their story, feeling both sad and inspired. In their saga, we see reflections of our own wishes for connection, power, and leaving a mark. The Majingilane Coalition started their dominance in the Manulethi Game Reserve. This set a stage for a unique story of change, land control, and lion behavior. The reserve, a notable birthplace for these powerful buffalo hunters, offered the perfect setting for them to grow and learn. Exploring the rise of these dominant male lions takes us back to their youth. They were born from 2004 to 2005 and stood out early for their hunting skills. Their mix of natural ability and learned tactics helped them quickly adapt in the wild. This set them on a course to rule the savannah. Their path to power shows their strength and intelligence. In 2009, they left Majingilane to claim the Sabi Sands Game Reserve. This move not only changed their physical location, but also their roles from outsiders to rulers. In a fight for power at Sabi Sands, the famous Mapogo males faced a strong rival, the Majingilane coalition. This lion conflict changed the land's borders and showed how exciting safari encounters can be. It attracted attention from all over to the Londolozi Reserve. The big battle happened in the Londolozi Reserve, a key spot in Africa's nature. The Mapogo males were tough, having ruled their area with force. Even though they were now fewer, they were still a big deal in lion politics. After a tough fight, the Majingilane turned their luck around. They used their smarts and hunting knowledge to get back at the Mapogo males. This key night battle led to the Majingilane's victory, with the Mapogo losing Kinky Tail. This marked the Majingilane's claim as the new leaders in the area. These battles are about more than just life and death. They show the deep social bonds and smart strategies of African wildlife. These groups don't just change their own world, but also shape the bigger nature stories seen by safari lovers. After arriving in Sabi Sands, the Majingilane coalition quickly took over. They focused on controlling the Salala Pride and Sparta Pride. This move caused significant changes in the prides. It even led to the death of some of their members. The Majingilane's way of taking control was forceful. They became the new dominant male lions through fights and expanding their family. The growth of their manes showed their power. It was a sign of their increased authority in the area. As the Majingilane firmly established their leadership in Sabi Sands, they changed everything. Their impact went beyond just being in charge. It redefined the ways prides related and territories were determined. This was a showcase of both power and the ongoing changes in the wild. The rise of the Majingilane coalition is an amazing tale of how they took over in the tough areas of Sabi Sands. They changed pride hierarchies and grew their territory. This showed us lion behavior in a new light in the African wildlife system. By the end of the Majingilane coalition, the four brothers split up. The first brother to pass away was the Hipskar male. He was predicted to die first. He seemed to be the outsider, mostly a loner away from the group. He used to roar very often, but his brothers were not much interested to answer to his call. An old male lion, ousted from his territory and suddenly nomadic, will always have a haunted look in his eyes. He started to become weak, and one day the once great hunter became the hunted. Next, the golden mane lion went missing. Reports say that he was badly injured during a buffalo hunt, and the chances of recovering from such an ordeal were very thin. He succumbed to his injuries. The dark mane and scar-nose males were the core members of the coalition. They were constantly seen together, almost as if inseparable. In the end, they also split up, both emaciated. After 8 years of a reign of terror, it was old age that crumbled their dominion. The Nach Coalition refers to a famous group of male lions in the Masai Mara, Kenya, led by a dominant lion named Nach who, alongside his 5 sons, formed a powerful coalition that ruled over a vast territory for nearly a decade, controlling multiple prides and leaving a lasting legacy in the African wilderness. Their story is marked by resilience, strategic dominance, and the ability to overcome challenges after Nach lost his original partner, solidifying their position as one of the most renowned lion coalitions in the Mara's history. Nach, born in the late 1990s, initially partnered with another young lion called Light Male. This duo gained enough confidence to challenge the well-known Marsh Pride, displacing the previous dominant males, Simba and Blondie, and establishing themselves as the new rulers. After Light Male was killed, Nach found himself alone with the responsibility of protecting his pride. Nach took care of his sons for more than a year until they were fully grown. When Nach's sons matured, they formed a strong bond with him, creating a formidable coalition with 5 male lions, all offspring of Nach. Nach was probably 9 years old when their reign of terror began in Masai Mara in 2008. Nach was a brilliant and beautiful black-maned lion, and it took guts and skill to build this complicated union with his sons. The 6 lions dominated the Mara, over 1,000 square kilometers, for years and sired dozens of cubs in almost all of the prides here. Within a few years, they would establish absolute dominance in the Mara by killing and intimidating lions that stood in their way. Although Notch was an old lion and in an unusual relationship with his 5 sons, he stood toe-to-toe with them. He was the alpha male and made the boys know that until his age caught up with him. Notch was more than 14 years old when he died in 2013. He had split from his boys in the last few years of his life, but was always near them for food and security. There are other large coalitions in the Mara, and some of them are controlling many prides, but none were as notorious as the Notch Coalition. The Notch Coalition controlled a large area, managing multiple prides and defending it against rival males. Due to their long reign and the large territory they held, the Notch Coalition became a legendary story within the wildlife community of the Masai Mara. Notch and his sons were the most famous lions in the world due to their unusual dominance, and this led to intense scrutiny, which increased the number of visitors to the Mara, and the dwindling number of African lions got the spotlight they deserved. The Mapogo Lion Coalition was an iconic group of brothers that rose to dominate South Africa's renowned Sabi Sand region bordering Kruger National Park in the 2000s. This powerful band of males ruthlessly conquered territory and prides, their dramatic tale becoming legend across Africa and the globe. They ruled the Sabi Sands region of South Africa from the mid-2000s to 2012. The coalition was made up of 6 male lions, who were known for their aggression and territorial behavior. They were feared by other prides in the area and were responsible for killing many rival lions. The Mapogo lions were a unique coalition as they had a tendency to kill any other lions they encountered. While it is not uncommon for lions to form coalitions, the size of the Mapogo coalition was exceptional with 6 members, granting them a significant advantage over other smaller coalitions. This allowed them to establish dominance over 8 prides, altering the entire ecosystem of the Sabi Sands region. The Mapogo coalition were 6 brothers that traced their lineage back to the Sparta pride, sired by the West Street males. Their distinctive names would become famous: Makhulu, Mr. T, Rasta, Scar, Pretty Boy, and Kinky Tail. 5 Mapogo males were birthed by the Sparta lionesses. Later they welcomed a 6th member, the older half-sibling Makhulu, whose own origins remain partially obscure. Makhulu mysteriously appeared in 2000 after the Sparta pride lost a 20-month-old male. This outsider was surprisingly accepted, perhaps owing kinship to the West Street fathers. Makhulu became the Mapogo leader. In 2006, the adolescent Mapogo coalition launched their violent takeover of Sabi Sands North. Their onslaught eliminated rival males and cubs alike, securing their apex status. The Mapogos announced their arrival in northern Sabi Sand by forcibly ousting the area's ruling coalition of 4 males. 3 were displaced and 1 killed in these initial clashes. Such violent infanticide may seem senseless, but genetically, it guarantees the conquerors sire the pride's next generation. This cold strategy helped the Mapogos gain control of 8 local prides. Additionally, the Mapogo lions were known to hunt and kill larger prey such as adult giraffes, buffaloes, young rhinos, and hippos. This not only included other lions, but also resulted in cannibalism. Their control over such a vast territory was unprecedented in the lion population and earned them a legendary reputation that will be remembered for years to come. At their apex around 2009, the Mapogo coalition ruled over a staggering 170,000-acre realm encompassing 8 prides territories. Their range spanned across vast tracts of Sabi Sand from Mala Mala in the south to Juma in the north. Throughout this kingdom, they patrolled and protected their hard-won dominion. During their rule, the Mapogo lions killed over 100 rivals, including adult males, females, and cubs. This staggering toll reveals their ends justify means mentality toward retaining status. But while the Mapogos' violence was extreme, their actions ensured stability by neutralizing outside and internal threats. For 6 years, none dared challenge them. In 2012, the 4 Selati males seized control of the Mapogos' last stronghold in a series of attacks. First, Mr. T was gruesomely killed, and then the Selatis dethroned Makhulu and Pretty Boy. Mr. T, who was considered the most ruthless of the Mapogo coalition, was defeated and killed by the Selatis, a rival coalition of 4 males known as the Southern Pride males. Following this, the other Mapogos disappeared under mysterious circumstances, leading to the disintegration of the legendary coalition. The last remaining Mapohos, Makhulu and Pretty Boy, were forced out of their territory after fighting with a coalition of 2 Kruger males. Although they were later seen together in 2012, Makhulu was the only one spotted alone in 2013 in Malamala. At almost 15 years old, Makhulu exceeded the average life expectancy of male lions, which is typically 8 to 10 years. The once supreme Mapoho Empire fragmented. A lone, emaciated Makhulu was last spotted in 2013, pathetically wandering his former kingdom's fringes. The mighty Mapohos were no more. The Mapoho saga remains one of the most dramatic events in Sabi-San's ecology. Their meteoric rise and gruesome fall left an indelible mark on the region. These brothers achieved lion celebrity status that endures through their living descendants and legendary reputations. Thank you for watching.